Hey everyone, welcome to the Dad Challenge podcast. My name is Josh. Thank you for joining me tonight. Just going to do an update with what's going on with Brian. And, just half an hour before I came on, News Nation says they're going to have Cassie Laundrie on for an interview. And so we're going to obviously go there. We're going to check that out. We're going to see what's going on with that because I think it's going to be pretty eye-opening what's going on with Cassie, considering she lied. I'm not saying what I think yet. I don't know. We'll see when we get down there, but I'm pretty sure that she feels like she's been kind of left behind by her family and she's going to blow the whistle tonight. So, or whatever you call that, whistle blow. Family. Yeah. So Andrea says that's right. She says Cassie's doing interviews, said her family's ignoring her, and it's getting pretty crazy. So I don't know how the family can throw her under the bus though, but I mean, I guess the lawyer kind of outed her by saying the lawyer said that yes, she did know something. She did see him after she lied on camera. So it's kind of what's going on. It's kind of, we're not going to be on for too long tonight unless Dog catches him. Yeah, I think Will's right. The glare, he says, I feel like she's totally going to throw everyone under the bus. I pretty much think that's going to happen. Tommy Horton says, I'm his hero, and I agree. How's everybody tonight? Where's everybody from? I always like to get a little update on where everybody's coming from, hearing from. Anybody from South Carolina near the Appalachian Trail by any chance? Anybody? So yeah, we're going to talk tonight about Brian's sightings, the many sightings of Brian and all these things people keep sending me. And it's great. You know what? I absolutely love this, this real crime thing we're doing here on this channel, and crowdsourcing the information, crowdsourcing the theories and debunking things together and correcting me when I'm wrong. It's a conversation, everybody. This is a real crime conversation. This isn't me trying to solve a crime or you guys trying to solve it. It's us talking through everything and coming up with theories and ideas. And maybe we're going to land on something. Maybe we won't. Following it together, having an interesting conversation. It's like we're having a coffee. And I think that's kind of nice. So thank you for joining me. If you want to support this channel, you can hit subscribe or you can hit the like button to get this thing going in the algorithm. Otherwise, let's get right to it. So yeah, I got some South Carolinas here. I see that. Sabrina, are you near the Appalachian Trail? One thing I need to know is that if anybody knows where the Appalachian Trail begins in South Carolina, can you let me know where it is? I'm going to bring it up on the map and we'll take a look at it. And we're going to look at through the things, possible Brian sightings, those types of things. And we're going to listen to the call in a minute to talk about, and then there's a video out there of a girl walking what she thinks by Brian, who's just shooting the shit with people by a truck. Now, can I just say this? It's now. Oh, sorry. Elia writes, News Nation now is broadcasting a 20-minute video. Okay, I'm going to go to their News Nation right now, see if it's up there. I'm looking for it, but I don't see it here. Is it on their Twitter? Is it on their Twitter? I don't see it on their Twitter. Is Brian Enton's? You're going to put it on his? What's going on here? Where is it? Newsnation.com. Okay, I'll check the website.
Also talked about that January 6th, September.
All right, let's play it up.
Fort DeSoto camping with the family. She said they were there about 6 hours. And
at that point, she did not know that Gabby was missing. Based on the timeline, you have been on this case since the very,
Can you guys
very
hear that
beginning.
okay?
What stands out to you about what Cassie shared?
Well, let's just go to the headline here because I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
Uh-oh.
She was asked,
Here comes.
are your parents involved? And she said, I don't know.
What?
She didn't say no. She said, I don't know.
Of course
they're
involved.
That she has not been in touch with her parents. So obviously there is division within this family right now. People were thinking maybe they were all on the same page. If she's telling the truth, there's division within the family right now. And she said it in her own words. She doesn't know whether her parents are involved and whether or not they know where Brian Laundrie is right
She
now.
also said, Brian, she said,
just,
I've lost my brother and my parents. Why your parents? Because they're not talking to us. I'm not talking to my parents. And then do you think they're involved? She doesn't know. Let's play this next clip for you. Cassie talks about the day Brian showed up at her house. Now, this was back on September 1st when she found out Gabby was missing, and also why she has been silent so far.
So when he came here September 1st, right? You said he came, what did he come here for? My parents wanted to surprise the kids to pick them up at school. I did not know that Brian was with them when we had previously planned to hang out with them.
Oh my goodness.
This is not what we want to be doing. This is not how we want the world to find out when we're angry and upset.
Oh.
But I can't have my kids be crying for 3 days in a row.
What did the FBI take out of the house here? Like what?
Nothing.
They came here though.
Yes.
During
We met with them multiple times.
you met with them multiple times. Did they ask you for like polygraphs or
Jeez.
anything like that?
No, but
No.
So I think
So
this.
not
I
asked
hope
about
this
a
interview is not going to be a
polygraph. She
big
said
nothing
that my
burger.
parents surprised me with the kids. Brian showed up. She didn't know that he was coming. What do you make of
Brian's
what she shared there,
23, I
Brian?
think, Molly.
Well, it's interesting. She's claiming that her parents came to her house and that she didn't know Brian Laundrie was going to be there back on September 1st. But remember when she first did the interview
Dev.
with ABC News, which was short and not really a full interview, and there were a lot of questions about that. ABC News reported that she had said she hadn't seen Brian since he returned to Florida. So we were interested when we had our exclusive reporting on Friday that she had in fact seen Brian at her house on September 1st. Now this new nugget, she's claiming that she just thought her parents were coming and that Brian wasn't going to be there.
Brian, this next clip that we're going to share with folks at home is one of the more surprising. And I
Oh, here we
watched all
go.
20 minutes. Let's listen now to Cassie
hear this.
describe the attorney for Brian Laundrie, her
Oh,
brother.
this is gonna
and
be
also
good.
she is asked if she thinks that Brian killed Gabby.
Really?
the media ended up misconstruing what I said when they asked me if I had seen my brother. Like I said at the beginning, they didn't say, "Have you seen Brian?" It was, "What's the weirdest thing about this all?" It was, I haven't been able to speak to my brother. I tried to contact him.
Oh,
after this.
she's
I
saying
tried
her
to
words
contact
were
the family after
misconstrued.
this. I hadn't been able to speak to my brother.
Do you know
That's
about
it.
any additional burner phones?
I have no idea.
So you don't know nothing.
I do think that
What?
was the wrong clip.
Yes, it
but
was.
We've
That's
got a
the
few
wrong
clips
clip.
to share
Thanks,
with you, so I think we'll
peeps.
get to it. But Brian, one thing that she said is in relation to the attorney for Brian Laundrie, she said, "My parents' lawyer screwed me over. I'm livid and I'm not talking to him." And then when asked, "Did Brian kill Gabby?" she said, "I don't know."
She said that.
Again, I mean, these I don't knows are really, really telling.
That's
She's
really
not
telling.
standing there saying, "My
telling
brother
because she
would
met
never
with
do
him.
this. I love my brother. There's no way." I mean, she's giving these I don't know answers, and I think that's really significant.
Right. The other thing that she said in a portion of this interview, she said, "I wasn't ignoring Mr. Petito's phone call." I think there had been some questions about whether or not Mr. Petito, Gabby's dad, was reaching out to the Laundrie family asking for help. Can you glean some clarity into
that's
those
true.
conversations or any interaction between these two families when Gabby was still missing?
So what we know, Marnie, is early on in all of this, when Brian returned here to Florida without Gabby in Gabby's van, obviously Gabby's parents became extremely concerned. And according to her parents, they were reaching out to the Laundrie family, mainly to the parents behind me, basically begging for any information. And according to Gabby's parents,
You think
they were
that his
being
parents are in the
flat
house
out
right now watching this
ignored.
news broadcast?
They were texting. They were not even getting responses
You know
to
they
their
are.
text messages, which they found to be very, very strange considering Gabby was Brian's fiance. Why would the family suddenly...
What? My preview is ended. Come on. Darn it. Can I just refresh it? Oh, man. I'm a loser, yo. What? Where's my volume? There's no volume.
At the home in Wabasso,
Yeah,
Gabby and Brian lived with us.
when they were in New York.
and you've never seen them fight, no argue, no.
Of course,
But nothing.
everybody bickers, but nothing like what no
Do they have a
domestic
conscience
anything.
for domestic violence?
No,
No.
yes, or else we would have done something about it.
Right.
I don't stand for that. I was
What?
in a bad relationship.
You
similar to
crazy?
That what's saying has happened. I wouldn't let that happen. We're
On top of evil monsters were laid out to be.
What do you say?
Not the monsters were being made out to be.
Oh, okay. So they're
Brian,
just going.
She also was asked a few
they're in
questions
defense
about her
mode.
own relationship with her brother.
Holy delay. Did he get that question?
That's not a clip. I'm just telling you.
Holy.
Can you hear me?
Thanks. Yeah, I
Wow,
was
that's
waiting to hear it.
really
No.
Yeah, I hear
professional.
you. Sorry, Marnie. Yeah. I don't think, I mean, we did get this video like 30 minutes ago.
Yes.
So we're all just sort of absorbing. I'm just listening so carefully because these are like nuggets that we've never heard before.
Right.
But that was interesting to hear Cassie explain what so many others have said, that she did not see any signs of domestic violence with Brian and Gabby, that she says that was all news to her, which is really consistent with what we've heard from family members on both sides.
She also said she's not close to her brother. They're 8 or 9 years apart. It didn't sound like they lived together, and she doesn't speak to him often. So the fact that she saw him twice in the last few weeks in this very tumultuous time for their family is interesting. All right, we do have another clip. Stand by, Brian. Let's take a listen.
I'm in the boat where I'm getting ignored by my family and thrown under the bus.
She's getting
by my
ignored by her
family's
family.
attorney.
Okay.
Why?
And thrown
why
under
would
the
you do
bus
that?
by the family's attorney.
Like, why?
Protect
his client because she's not their client.
This is so
I'm
amateur.
just as mad.
Did they have a storage shed, Gabby and
They have a storage locker.
Brian? Do you know where it was?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what date your
These
brother
people
flew
are
back
gonna
that your dad
be-
could complain?
The lawyer right now is
Didn't even know
hates
he
his life.
Did he fly back from
He flew back
like
and they
around
had
like what, the
storage
17th or
and they
something?
put it into their house.
around like the 17th or something
Yeah,
after the
he
fight?
got here on the 17th. I don't know what day he left.
Did you see him on that trip?
Yes.
What was discussed? Anything? Was he discussed about?
They were talking,
I
he was
think that
telling me
they're
where
just
were
trying to
going
figure
next.
out how
I
they're not going to get in
FaceTimed with
trouble after
Gabby and
this
the
whole
kids
thing.
on
After
that trip.
lying.
And then
Did he say he got in a fight with Gabby? He didn't talk about that incident.
Just was surprised to us.
Yeah.
So this
We're
doesn't make any sense.
unfortunately in the dark as much as
They didn't say
everybody else.
anything. Hey, where's Gabby when you get back?
So
They
Brian,
didn't
this
say
takes
that.
us all the way back to allegedly August 17th, when they say Brian Laundrie flew back home to Florida. His sister saw him. That is information that
Got
we
it.
had
North
not
Carolina.
until tonight been able to corroborate if it is in fact true.
Yeah, these are sort of rumblings. A lot of this stuff that Cassie is saying are rumblings that we've been hearing about, that people on Twitter are constantly direct messaging me about, that we just haven't been able to confirm because the FBI has
Honestly,
been
her
so
body
tight-lipped,
language
and it's
is
and obviously
likely,
no one from
and
the
I know this
family will
because
ever
I
talk
used to be
us.
really,
So
really big.
It's very
Is
interesting.
she's
to hear
self-conscious about her
Cassie
body. I don't think
now
that she's being closed
confirming
off. I
some
just
of
don't
these
think she likes to
tidbits.
be on camera
And
because of her
also,
body.
I mean, she
and
just
that's
said
my honest
that
opinion
her
about
own
that.
family attorney, the words were, she feels thrown under the bus.
I used to do that. Cross
So
my arms
based on
or hold a
everything
pillow
we're
on my
hearing,
belly
it
when I'd sit on
sounds
a
like
chair or
there is
something
some major
when I was really big. So
infighting within the Laundrie family. The parents in the house behind me, who haven't come out in days now, clearly not on the same page.
does anybody
as
know
their
where
daughter,
the sighting
Cassie,
was? They
who
can give
lives
me
about
that when I bring it
45
up on
minutes from
Google.
here.
And Cassie is saying, I am not talking to my parents. I've lost my brother, my parents. The FBI has told us not to talk. And if you're just joining us, the reason she and her husband came out is they wanted these protesters off of their lawn. Their kids are inside. It was for their own protection. And then for 20 minutes, she continued to answer questions about her brother, about the case, about what she knew. Another interesting thing that we learned from Cassie this afternoon, Brian, was that the couple had a storage locker that they shared.
We knew that already.
Cassie says she doesn't know where that is. We now have that clip
Okay, I'm
when
just gonna bring that up.
Cassie is asked. He is found, the sooner it is over for us. And just to go through what they just said there, Brian, she said, my parents' lawyer screwed me over. I'm livid and I'm not talking to him. Did Brian kill Gabby? I don't know. And silence is not guilt. The FBI has told us not to talk. Surprising that she did.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it totally caught me off guard tonight. I've been to Cassie's house several times, knocked on the door. We've put in requests to talk to her. And she hasn't talked to the media since that one interview very, very
Yeah,
early
guys, sorry, I'm
on.
talking over her, so
And
I don't get
think,
copyright striked. I
she
have to
must
do
have
it.
just
I'm
gotten
sorry.
fed up with these protesters. The neighbors were clearly fed up, and her husband just decided to come right out. And again, I just want to reiterate for people who are listening to this and maybe didn't catch the beginning. I mean, the person asking these questions, the man and the woman, these are protesters. These aren't reporters. These are protesters who were just out there protesting. She comes out and they started sort of getting the opportunity to ask these questions.
And all this happening, Brian, as the search for Brian Laundrie continues. I want to talk to you about your report today. You were
okay,
in the middle
it's
of
a
putting the
nothing
piece
burger,
together
everybody. I'm
for
sorry.
tonight about a possible sighting in the Appalachian Trail. What
Hold
can
on.
you tell us about where the search stands tonight and what we've learned?
So still no confirmed sightings of Brian Laundrie tonight, Marnie, but what we have been looking into is this report from a hiker along the Appalachian Trail right on the border of Tennessee and North Carolina. He says that he was hiking over the weekend, early Saturday morning, when he says he saw someone who he believes is Brian Laundrie in a white pickup truck. He says he's been following the case. He knows what Brian Laundrie looks like. I talked to this guy. He's an engineer. He says he's detail-oriented. He says he is 99% sure that he saw Brian Laundrie. I spoke with him on the phone. His name's Dennis. This is what he told me.
Here we go. Dennis. Hello.
Okay, so basically what he told me was that that he was, again, 99% sure that it was him, that he's been in touch with the FBI, and that he actually plans to meet with the FBI either tomorrow or on Wednesday.
Brian, are they still searching the
Tomorrow?
reserve? What's the status of that tonight?
What?
So the reserve search is ongoing. The swamp, which is just a couple of miles from where we are, but it's scaled down massively. Today, we had a chopper up looking from the sky because that's really the only way to keep an eye on things there. And there was one airboat we spotted with a canine and a search crew on the airboat. So not as big a search as we saw last week when there were literally hundreds of people out there searching.
How about the scene outside the parents tonight and throughout the day? Has that changed?
Yeah, here we are.
It's been quiet out
I say
here.
Appalachian
They
right.
haven't come out all day long. They got one package delivery.
All right,
The
this
guy
is done.
went to the screen door and quickly took it in.
All right, it's a nothing burger. Like I hoped it wasn't. I hope she was going to say something. They talked it up a little bit. They didn't really say it was a big bomb or anything like that. But basically, she just came out and said, "Look, if they're going to throw me under the bus, I'm going to just say what I know." So, so let's debunk this. She has a Ford F-150 in the first interview, and so Kathleen, I promise you this: if they had a Ford F-150 and Brian has their vehicle and they don't claim it's stolen and he has it, they are accessories. I think. Don't quote me, but I just don't think that's plausible. Doesn't make any sense why he would have their vehicle and they're being thrown under the bus by the law. Why wouldn't they say that on camera? Our truck was stolen and we think he took our truck. Not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that does not seem plausible to me at this point. It doesn't, again, all these sightings. Let me see if I can bring up one of these other sightings. I'm going to play that call for you guys.
And
Haywood County 911, what's the location of your emergency?
well, I'm on the highway right now, but I ran into Brian Lauer just a little while ago.
Lauer.
Okay, where did you see him?
The guy's so sure, but he doesn't even know his name. That's weird to me.
I was at the parking lot for the Appalachian Trail on the north side of
What'd he say?
on Waterville Road.
Okay, and just on Waterville, or did you see him near a house? Did you see a mailbox?
He was driving a truck, and I stopped and talked to him. Was a white truck. I think it was a Ford F-150. I'm not 100% sure of that. And it was kind of a newer model. It wasn't like an old beater. It was a newer truck.
Okay, and what makes you say that it was him?
I was making a U-turn and in the road, and he came up behind me and he slowed down and kind of flashed his lights. like telling me, "Oh, go ahead and go, and I'm going to wait for you." And as I turned around and I'm coming back by him, he's waving his arm out of his truck, like for me to slow down. And I pull up next to him. I'm getting ready to go through the tunnel here. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Can you still?
Lost you.
And he had to go out to California to see her. And he was asking me how to get to California. And I said, well, you can get on I-40 right there and drive west, and you'll get there. And he said, no, I think I can go this way, and kind of left. But he was acting funny. And I wasn't sure about what he looked like. And then I went and parked and pulled up the photographs of him. And I'm 99.99% sure that was him.
Okay.
She's like, okay, yeah.
My sergeant, okay?
All right. I'll meet somebody out there if they want to.
That's BS. All right. I mean, it could be right, but I mean, let's be real. Samantha has a good point. Brian would not wave, hey, I'm the most wanted dude in the US. Let's shoot the breeze here. Let's play some checkers. I mean, who needs directions anymore? Almost every vehicle has GPS in it, or phones have GPS on them. We know he has a burner phone or two. A lot of people haven't said that. They don't know if there's been more. They ask Cassie if there's more than one phone. You think if a guy's going to go on the run, they're going to just give him one phone? Why wouldn't he buy more than one phone? Right? I guarantee he's got a phone. So, just saying. Ah, man, I don't know. Can you really be on the run this long and have a mental breakdown? Like, I know we don't want to, underestimate these people, but really, is this a thing that people would like? Is he getting this from advice? Do you think he's getting, unless he's trying to build a rapport of being insane, do you think he's getting advice to do something like that? I don't believe it. There's another video. I'm trying to find it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Of the girl going on the. Oh, somebody's tweeting. Brody Bruce, Cassie Laundrie says that Brian Laundrie did fly back in the middle of the road trip to help move belongings into a storage locker. She says she is in the dark, like everyone else, regarding the actions after the fact. So if that's true, Cassie just gave us confirmation he flew back. That to me is super sus, because that's right after they have they're pulled over and separated, right? I hope she clears it up. And then the connection, again, I don't think it is, but it is such a crazy coincidence that they were in the same vicinity as that murder couple. Okay. It is such a crazy coincidence to me. And then he flies back, right? Annie, I don't know. What do you think, Annie? You think that he's part of that? You think he's got something to say? Okay. Well, so I don't believe in mediums and readers. I just don't. Unless you can show me somebody who has like a good track record of getting something right that they have no business getting right, then I don't believe it. I don't believe in that stuff. I don't think it exists. I just don't think. Oh yeah, I mean you can and we keep calling this a burner phone. So I love My Creative Spirit writes, does burner phones have GPS? Now, we say burner phone, we just mean that they bought phones. They're not burner phones. Burner phones you call and you throw it out. They're not burners. They're just multiple phones. Yes, we just watched that Queen of Cups. She just got interviewed, and now she is saying that she is confirming that he did fly home, which was a big deal. That's a big confirmation for us. Really important. And then they got this tweet: somebody swimming in the pool at the house. See that? Literally, someone just chilling in the pool in the backyard while they're gardening. They're going in. Someone says this is this could be, that this could be it. Oh, sorry, shout out to AJ. Could be the house, or it could be a vacuum. I'm looking for the other one, the trail cam, where the person's walking and sees the cam. Yeah, here it is. Okay, check this out. This is what bothers me a lot about these things. Okay, watch this.
Coconut right here.
So they're saying this guy right here is Brian. That's what they're saying.
Oh my.
This is definitely not. I don't believe it. So that's what they're saying. I don't believe it because it doesn't look like, I mean, it looks like every other dude that looks like Brian. So the thing that bothers me about these sightings, I can't enhance that, Coco, because it's like filmed with a Nokia potato phone for some reason, unless I have the raw footage. The issue is that with these sightings is if you think that you have a picture or see Brian, why would you walk by him and not film him the whole time or get up close and try to get a photo? I don't get that unless I don't. That's why I feel like a lot of these people are just like throwing it out there, just throwing it, see what sticks. Again, we have to look, Kristen, there's a white F-150 in the parking lot. Do you guys no, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm not. Do you honestly believe that his sister gave her brother, who she's not, doesn't have a great relationship with, came back without his girlfriend, her truck to go on the run? Do you honestly believe that he has a truck, that he has a sister's truck? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, if you're a skinny bald dude right now, sucks to be you. Just stay home. I Sarah Brown says, look how he's standing. I am looking at that. Like, here, let me see if I can grab a screen grab for you guys. I'll bring that back up. I wish I could get that bigger. I feel like possibly, I just feel like that guy's a little bit more lanky. Not lanky is the wrong word. Like a little bit more shapely. Like he's a little bit dad bodish. Where if Brian's been on the run for 2 weeks right now, the guy's going to have lost weight, right? And do you guys honestly believe he's going to be chilling with some people, just talking? He's literally the most wanted person in the world right now in the US. I can't see it. I hope he's stupid enough to do that. But at this point, do you guys honestly believe that's what's going on? Everybody's saying the insanity defense. I don't know. You have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt for that stuff. Yeah, he's from the distance. Brian is kind of an average guy. Same look of a lot of guys his age. I think they need to get close. This is the thing that bugs me about these sightings. Take a picture. Get closer. You honestly believe this is the guy that's on the hunt for the FBI? How much is the reward up to now? It's over 200,000, and you're not gonna get closer. You're not gonna attempt to take him down for that much money. He looks like he's just chatting. There's a bunch of people around. I know it's dangerous. Maybe you shouldn't. But if I see Brian, I'm gonna headbutt that guy. He's going down. Like for sure he's going down. Yeah, the Goose fam, we did talk about the interview with the sister. She just basically said it's a big, I mean, they might bring up some more clips later, but it's a huge nothing burger at this point. She's just basically saying, we're tired of being thrown under the bus. The lawyer is not helping us. And she just said, we don't know anything. Like, that's what they're saying. We don't know, which is, I guess, legal speak for we're not telling you anything because we're not dumb. They don't have a great relationship. They don't want to be made out to be they said they don't want to be the bad guys here. We don't want to be made out to be the villains because we're not. They don't have, their parents have kind of forsaken them. And she just basically, they've chosen Brian, the guy who's on the run from the FBI, over their daughter, which could you imagine? Could you imagine? Yes, Elia. I hate people too. Sir, you guys are awesome though. Only hate bad people. She did confirm a couple of timeline points, and if she's telling truth, because a lot of people were like, you said you didn't see him. And then she also said in the interview that the media misconstrued that conversation, right? Right. Brian is dangerous. Also, what if it's not Brian? Exactly. I'm just saying this guy's one of the most viral characters in the world right now. And you're going to walk by him with a potato camera and then you're not going to actually try to get a real photo of him. I just don't see it. I'm not seeing it and it bothers me. I just don't see that being him.
All right.
And you don't think if Brian saw a guy filming him, he'd get a little bit crazy, a little bit weird and take off? I just don't see it. The white truck is in the driveway during the interview, so she debunks all the sightings with the white truck. Thank you. Again, it's not something that really needed to be debunked anyway. There's no way she gave him her truck. The FBI would have been on that instantly. Can we look into his age? I'm pretty sure his age is either 23 or 24, from what I heard. Yeah, he's not going to be just shooting the breeze with strangers. It's not going to be happening. Also, exactly. Courtney Anderson writes, by now he might have grown his hair back. I kind of agree with that. I don't think he's going to be continuing to shave his head. Like, this guy has to, like, I mean, honestly, if you think this is him chatting here, maybe he then has time to go, shave and shower and keep up with his, maintenance. I don't think that's going to be him. I just don't see it. I mean, someone says you can't see tattoos, but you can't see anything in this video. So I don't know what you mean. Like, the guy right there had an opportunity to pan over and doesn't. You can't see tattoos on his arm even if you wanted to here. It's dark. It's a fail. Oh, Brian tweeted the video. Okay, let's take a look. See here.
So what we know, Marnie, is early on in all of this, when Brian returned here to Florida without Gabby in Gabby's van, obviously Gabby's parents became extremely concerned. And according to her parents, they were reaching out to the Laundrie family, mainly to the parents behind me, basically begging for any information. And according to Gabby's parents, they were being flat out ignored. They were texting.
Yep.
They were not even getting responses to their text messages, which they found to be very, very strange considering Gabby was Brian's fiance. Why would the family suddenly be ignoring them? And that's what sparked them to initially call police.
Another couple things that Cassie said. She said, I'm upset. I've been silent because the FBI told me to. Let's listen to another clip here.
Have you ever seen Brian hit Gabby?
No.
Have you ever seen him fight?
No.
Have you seen him hit any woman?
No, I've never seen him be abusive or angry in anything. No.
You know that we talked about neighbors. We canvassed your parents' neighborhood.
Yeah.
Who is this lady yapping over here?
They've heard screams coming out of your parents' house on multiple occasions.
Your parents' house.
I
Screams.
don't know what to tell you about
Might have been
that.
our kids. We lived there for a year.
Oh, you lived at the home in Barbour?
Yeah,
Gabby and Brian lived with us.
when we were in New York.
And you never seen him fight? No argue? No.
Of course, we
But nothing.
everybody bickers, but nothing like what no
But they have a
domestic
constituted done
Wow.
this around.
No,
No.
yes, or else we would have done something about it.
Right.
Like, I don't stand for that. I was in a bad relationship similar to that, what's saying has
Right.
happened. I wouldn't let that happen. We're
On top of evil monsters were made out to be.
We're not the monsters we're made out to be. So there's this stupid protester lady, YouTuber, whatever her name is, that crazy lady is over here. We talk to the neighbors. We know the truth. So then you know the truth. What are you doing here? What is this lady chiming in for? I don't like her. What's she doing? What an idiot. And why are these guys why did Cassie give an interview to this guy and not to Brian Enton, to the guys covering the whole thing? I bet you that News had to, News Nation had to pay a pretty penny for that footage. Not going to lie. They probably had to, this guy who did the interview probably sold it for a lot of money. Oops. Oh, of course. Nasty. I tweeted this Jonathan Lee Rich's guy because I didn't know who he was at first. I'm like, hey, why don't you come on the show? But I doubt he will. So they're protesters. They're out there. He's been out there for weeks just getting. Yeah, so KDC writes, I heard he flew home to move their stuff into storage because parents are getting divorced and they're selling the house. This Apparently, Cassie has said that is true. He did fly home. We're getting confirmation from her. She's a dedicated protester. Don't hate on her. Isn't this the one that's like getting crazy and like making it worse? The neighbors are freaking out. Isn't this the one that's talking about a dedicated protester? I don't know if I mean, I sort of get why protesters are there, but do you guys think that honestly helps? I don't know. Maybe it does. I don't know. But this guy's interviewing and then she's chiming in. This is just, it's amateur hour. And then she's like, it's not even an interview. She's like interrogating them. And that's not going to help anybody at all. Well, Kim, protesters need to leave the sister alone. Well, I think that's because they assume she lied. And she's saying that she didn't lie. They just misconstrued her conversation. Coors Mandy writes, in my opinion, her saying, I don't know, is as good as saying yes. Otherwise, you say no. I honestly believe that too. She's saying, I don't know, because she doesn't want to be held in the end liable for anything. Right. So I agree with you on that one. Protesters are still there, Samantha. Yes, they are. Yeah, I don't. What does this mean? A box of Pandora. I don't. Is that something I'm too old to know? Yeah, Heidi says, I think standing in the street and screaming at the house is moronic. I get it. I think they're trying to. This is their way of making those people. You know, I have to sort of get it. I sort of understand. Right, that these people are sitting in their home. They haven't left. They're gardening and swimming. They didn't take the call when Gabby's parents called to ask what happened, and they knew what happened, and they ignored and ghosted these people. It's just the most atrocious thing. So I get why they're doing it. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it at this point. I don't know. Yes, there was a TikTok plane banner today. Flew over the Laundrie house for 2 hours. Says TikTok, time's up. I'm not sure they'll see that. They're sitting in their house. They're not going to come out. They had a package delivered by USPS or USPC and came out and got it. And then they were being yelled at through the porch when they came out and got their package. Cassie did go to the trip. And there's some people are saying twice. Yes, Anna Potts, have the police searched the family homes? Yes, they have searched the family homes. And I think Cassie's home got searched. She was asked, what did they take? She said they didn't take anything from her house. Yeah, Cassie. Yeah, I think Cassie's she looks pissed, right? And she's just going to say her piece. She's going to say her thing. Her parents are ignoring her, or it'd be an interesting situation to see what happens after this. If Cassie comes forward and calls her parents and says, do you guys know anything? And if her parents are ignoring their own daughter too, could you imagine? So likely Cassie and her husband you have to admit that they're coming out to do an interview, that they're likely calling the parents and saying, what is going on? What did you know? Why are we being the ones out here who are getting harassed and stuff like that? We didn't know anything. Oh, this guy's, yeah, I mean, like every reporter though, to be honest with you, but apparently he's not a real reporter. Yeah, the parents should be doing it. Honestly, they're smart though. If you think about this, they're not going to come out and give a statement. It's never going to happen, because at this point, if they haven't, they're not going to now. Of all the pressure on their house for the last 2 weeks, you think they're going to come out now? I just don't see it happening. No updates from Dog. His last one was him going through a marsh, and that was it. Not a ton of updates. Leslie Jones, she did go on the camping trip, yes. I mean, Stephanie Burgess, people living in storage units, I get that. Has anyone thought to check? I'm sure someone has thought to check that. And I'm not sure if you're allowed to get the records. Like, maybe the parents haven't said where it is and they don't know, and I'm not sure they have to give that information. So, I mean, it's plausible for sure. Anything's possible at this point. They're looking for him in the place. They didn't find him. Now they're looking in the Appalachian Trail, which a lot of people, including myself, have suggested that's where he is. So yeah, Brian shut down Facebook. Unfortunately, Cassie has been thrown into this mess by her baby brother. He did the dirt. They were in different states when he allegedly killed Gabby. Shame on people for harassing her and her family. I think that main is that people were upset because they assumed that she was lying. She said, no, I haven't seen him. But then she went on to say, no, they misconstrued my language there. It's on Brian's Twitter. Let me take a look. Okay.
I'm getting ignored by my family and thrown under the bus by my family's attorney.
Why would he do that? Like, why?
Protect his client because she's not their client.
So I'm just as mad.
Did they have a storage
She's just as mad, she says.
shed, Gabby, and
They have a storage locker.
Brian? Do you know where it was?
I have no idea.
Do you know what date your brother flew back that your dad paid for the plane?
Here it is.
Didn't even know he paid for the plane.
Did he fly
He didn't know he paid for the plane.
back from like around like what, the 17th or something? Around like the 17th or something after the fight.
You're on the 17th.
He flew home on the 17th. We got it, everybody. Flew home on the 17th. She says it right there.
I don't know what day he left.
Did you see him on that trip?
Yes.
Wow.
was disgusting.
That's something. Finally. Confirmation of something we've been talking about for over a week. Did he come back to Florida? Yes, he did fly back. So that's going to change the timeline of what happened between the 12th and the 17th. 5 days. Annie, are you still in this chat? When were they killed? Was it the 17th that they were killed? Or was it 15th and they were found on the 17th? We'll get back to this. I need to know that. Yeah, this is really weird. Are you saying he could not have? Because why could he not have? Yes, he could have. They were killed the night of the 13th. They were found on the 15th, as far as I'm aware, right? Or found on the 18th? So they were killed between the 13th and the 18th. Okay. They were found on the 17th, went missing the night of the 13th. This rules out the other hiker that went missing in Wyoming, those whose body was found. Okay. The girls died 14-15, were found on the 18th. Okay. This is starting to hot up a little bit. So hear me out. It's, again, I know that's a coincidence, and I'm not saying it is. But why were people just ruling it out willy-nilly all the time and saying, no, it's been debunked, when they don't have a suspect as far as I'm aware? And Brian is there going through some shiz on the 13th, then leaves the 17th? Wow. Totally clueless. How did he get from killing Gabby to killing 2 other people? I'm just saying it's a coincidence. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying that is a really, really big coincidence. We had Jordan McKay on the last time and said, there's nothing like this that goes down in Moab. Nothing. Okay. All of a sudden, 3 people were killed within a week of each other. Right? That's a little bit weird. That's a coincidence, right? That's a crazy, crazy coincidence. So that's what I'm just saying. It's even more plausible now that we know he flew home on the 17th, corroborated by his sister. It's a big coincidence, yes, but a coincidence nonetheless, considering how much crime out there happens like that. Appalachian is a Cherokee, similar other indigenous dialect of native word. I taught Cherokee kids. It's important to them to pronounce. So Appalachian? Is that what you're saying I need to be saying? I've been calling Appalachian my whole entire life. Appalachian. Okay. I'll try to remember that. No, Gabby wasn't. You're right. Gabby was not killed in Moab. But these two people were, while Brian and Gabby likely were there, because when is the next sighting of Gabby and Brian? Was it the 25th at the hotel? Right? The last sighting was the 24th or 25th. No, Kim Murray, this is something that I've heard a lot of people say, that the keys were found at the scene, flew home to get extra keys. I doubt it. They would have. I mean, they have the van. They probably had those keys from the case. I'm sure they tried it. Or they could have. I don't know. Okay, investigators believe there are no coincidences. I agree, Ivy Marie. I agree with that. I know it's a big stretch, but it's getting more plausible by the minute. The police gave up searching for them when they were missing. Didn't even search 24 hours. The woman that found them only spent 5 hours looking. Oh, that's so sad. We need to get into that case a little bit more. Absolutely. The last sighting was 24th. So do we know, based on the timeline from the 13th onwards, where they were based on Instagram pictures or anything like that? The two other women were murdered by a gunshot. Right, he was ruled out, but why? Well, why was he ruled out? Is it because that they know where he was and we don't? So they now, okay, so Vote Just Note writes, the death of two women are not connected as per law enforcement. I think they match DNA to another male. Okay. I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying this is a crazy coincidence. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Dev Jordan writes, ladies, just take this as a lesson. If you see someone creepy, always text someone what they look like, just in case. If you're camping in the middle of nowhere, don't camp in the middle of nowhere. Don't. I'm not going to. So please just be safe out there. Just be safe, please. Have a gun or whatever, protect yourself. That's so scary. Leslie Johns writes, does he have or own a gun? Are they searching the Carlton Reserve for a murder weapon? Just something I read. This is up in the air, Leslie. I don't think it's been confirmed or denied whether or not they had a weapon. Some people say, yes, they did have a weapon. Some people say they don't. So until we have full confirmation, we don't know. I mean, it makes sense to have a weapon when you're traveling and camping 24 hours a day. There could be bears. It could be animals. It makes sense to have a weapon to protect yourself, to be honest with you. Peach Sangria writes, why camp at all? There are a lot of good Airbnbs. That's called glamping, but yes, don't camp. Camping there's bugs and there's sand and sweat and gross. Just don't. There is a picture of Gabby with a pistol, but I don't know if that picture is Gabby with a pistol during their trip. Can anybody confirm that? This is another thing Jessica List writes. The minute they texted and said, if we wind up dead, there's a creepy guy, should have called the police. The fact that they texted that, it makes that case so much more creepy, to be honest with you. It makes it so much more scary. Brandy Wilford, we do not know anything about her autopsy at this point. Nothing yet. I've had a couple of people message me they said they have inside information, but I'm not going to say any of that stuff till it's corroborated, because I don't think anybody has inside information on that, unless the parents know. I wonder if the parents know, if Gabby's parents know, if they're being told. Ashley Wildflower says, I'm currently living van life and have been since May with my boyfriend. We've been all over the USA, currently in San Francisco. It's amazing, but yes, always carry protection. Also, don't live the van life. Ew. Just kidding. Do what you got to do. I don't know if I could do that. I have kids, so no, I can't. That's a lie. I'm not going to ever do that. Unless you can do a van that's like the size of my house, then let's do that. Oh, let's go through this. Sorry.
Anything? Was he discussed about?
He was telling me where they were going next. I FaceTimed with Gabby and the kids on that trip.
Did he say he got in a fight with Gabby? He didn't talk about that incident?
It's not a surprise to us.
Yeah. We're unfortunately in the dark as much as everybody else.
So, Brian, this takes us all the way back to allegedly August 17th when they say Brian Laundrie flew back home to Florida. His sister saw him. That is information that we had not until tonight been able to corroborate if it is in fact true.
Yeah, these are sort of rumblings. A lot of this stuff that Cassie is saying are rumblings that we've been hearing about.
Yes.
People on Twitter are constantly direct messaging me about that we just haven't been able to confirm because the FBI has been so tight-lipped, and obviously no one from the family will ever talk to us. So it's very interesting to hear Cassie now confirming some of these tidbits. And also, I mean, she just said that her own family attorney, the words were, she feels thrown under the bus. So based on everything we're hearing,
where do you get that, Brad
sounds
Taylor?
like
He's
there
not
is some
innocent.
major infighting within the Laundrie family. The parents in the house behind me, who haven't come out in days now, clearly not on the same page as their daughter Cassie, who lives about 45 minutes from here.
And Cassie is saying, I am not talking to my parents. I've lost my brother, my parents. The FBI has told us not to talk. And if you're just joining us,
let me hear. If the FBI tells you not to talk, are you supposed to talk? I mean, maybe don't talk.
The reason she and her husband came out is they wanted these protesters off of their lawn.
Oh, okay.
Their kids are inside. It was for their own protection. And then for 20 minutes, she continued to answer questions about her.
I got to say this too. How come the FBI? Okay, I have I think I follow this girl on Twitter who came out with that, down the statement from the police that said, yeah, we know where Brian is and that stuff. Why didn't they say we know he flew back? I guess we're being kept in the dark because, I mean, who are we, right? I get that. So if anything, this proves that the FBI and the police know way more than we all know.
Her brother, about the case, about what she knew. Another interesting thing that we learned from Cassie this afternoon, Brian, was that the couple had a storage locker that they shared. Cassie says she doesn't know where that is. We now have that clip when Cassie is asked, did Brian kill Gabby? Let's listen.
My parents' lawyer really screwed me over by saying that he just
Well, I
stopped
saw
by.
the comment that
He
he
did
made.
not just stop by on the way home, and I was livid, and I'm not speaking to anybody.
Yeah.
Do you think Brian killed Gabby?
I don't know. Silence
don't
was
know.
not guilt. Silence was
Well,
the
nobody
FBI
came here
telling us
until
not
the
to.
lie.
The sooner he's found, the sooner this is over for us.
Yes.
The sooner he is found, the sooner it is over for us. And just to go through what they just said there, Brian, she said, my parents' lawyer screwed me over. I'm livid and I'm not talking to him. Did Brian kill Gabby? I don't know. And silence is not guilt. The FBI has told us not to talk. Surprising that she did.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it totally caught me.
Okay.
And they started
A possible
Appalachian white. Okay, so basically, what he told me was that that
Oh, we
just
saw
a
that
couple
part
of
already.
miles
Okay.
from where we are, but it's.
All right, so that's what we're kind of figuring out. Now I'm trying to figure out that other. I think I have a video of it. I think I might have downloaded it. Let me just take a look, see if I have it here. I want you guys to see this. Yeah. Okay. Listen to this, okay? Everything we've been talking about.
Yes.
Let's see that again. How do I rewind that? Hello.
Do you know where Brian Laundrie is right now? Yes.
Do you know where Brian Laundrie is right now? Yes. He lied. He straight up lied. He straight up lied. He didn't know. How do I feel about the flu banner outside the parents' house? I mean, if you're gonna do that, I don't know how much it costs, but at the same time, it's bringing it's a tweet that goes viral, so it's bringing more attention. So it does hold value for keeping this story in the forefront. So yeah, they could have donated it, but again, it's another thing that's just keeping the story going. She won't leave her kids with Brian. Well, I hope not. Not from this point forward. Yeah. Yeah, Fox Squad. I want to get that dad on here on the show to talk about what's going on with that and put a timeline together for that. That's a good idea. Because that's scary. And they still have nobody. Do I honestly think that the murder of two women are related to this? If I'm going to give it like a percentage, I'm going to say I'm like a 75% no. But that you have to admit, that is a crazy coincidence considering where they were camping, how far away they are, that they were at possibly at the same bar, that they went to the same store that the girl worked at. Those are some coincidences that are mind-blowing as far as I'm concerned. The lawyer put a statement on Twitter. What's the lawyer's name? Brian Ensign tweets, Laundrie family attorney Mr. Bertolini just texted, I do not represent Cassie Laundrie. Cassie's comments can only be attributed to the press twisting my words and hers, which were only given to clarify prior mischaracterizations by the press with the hopes of further sensationalizing this tragic story. Is this guy serious? Sensationalizing a tragic story. What's the tragic story, Mr. Bertolini? You seem to know. What's the story? None of us know. All we know is that a dude brought his girlfriend's van back, stole her money on the way back, left her possibly for dead, and came back. That's what we know. What's the tragic story? What's this? That's BS what that guy just tweeted. Lawyers can be awesome for you if you need them, and also disgusting as far as I'm concerned. Their attorney is a real estate attorney in New York. I think no, their attorney has been. I think he's like I don't know what you call that, like all for one attorney. I don't know what you call that, like someone who can just general practitioner of law. I think he does everything. And Brian's going to say he left Gabby there and blame the murder again. This theory, while plausible, sure, could say that. But really, why did he steal her money? Why did he take her vehicle? Why did he leave her there? And then why did he clam up, get a lawyer, and not say a word? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Who's from Bohemia? Okay. I don't know what that means. He represents Brian. I think he represents the parents. By proxy, represents Brian. It says there are more killers out there than you think. Brian isn't the only one in the small area. I agree with you on that. But the issue is we look at the murder rate in Moab, and I mean, like, let me see if I can Google it real quick. I mean, since 2010, there's been one murder in Moab. So in 11 years, almost 12 years, has been one murder. And all of a sudden, within a week, there's 3. Well, I know it wasn't Moab, but connected to Moab in some way. Last murder is 2004. So I got the data wrong. Sorry about that. Yeah, Moab is a tourist town. Not a lot of people live there. Right. So when there's something like this goes down, that's crazy. Right. The Goose Fam writes, if someone else murders your fiance, you don't just take off. That's not normal behavior. Let's think how you're. So what I think a lot of people are saying, the Goose Fam, is that likely what Brian's going to say is, look, we got in a fight. I went for a hike. I came back. She was gone. I assume she left. I waited for a day. I waited for 2 days. Couldn't find her. I was like, okay, she might have hitchhiked back home, and then I left. He could use that, right? If there's nothing tying him like DNA, well, I mean, even DNA, there's going to be his DNA on her, right? So imagine he could use that as a defense to say, wasn't me because I waited around for a couple of days, didn't see her, couldn't, and then she didn't come back, so I left. He could be saying that, you guys. That's very, very plausible. Yeah. Oh, you guys see Roni? Hey, Roni. Hey, Roni. Right. Jillian says, even if he said that, how could he explain his disappearance now? Exactly. Even if that's the case, right? And I'm just saying could be something he says that could be completely plausible considering there was another couple murdered near there, right? So, but it doesn't explain lawyering up, doesn't explain being on the run from the FBI. I mean, it's just crazy. Leslie Johns, the girl's cause of death was a released gunshot. Yes, we know that. Gabby's hasn't, which I get. But in some of the footage I saw near where Gabby's body was found, looks like bullet holes. Now, I think we sort of debunked that. I could be wrong about that. But I don't think police use orange spray paint to mark bullet holes. I'm just saying there could be DNA in bullet holes. You don't spray paint that could corrupt the evidence, I think. And a lot of people were saying that they spray paint those trees because those are the ones that are coming out of the park, but those ones are cutting down. Gabby's with someone at the Utah hotel while Brian was gone. Dad Ubered food for two and sitting. Yeah, is this true, Elizabeth? Do we have this confirmation that this is interesting? Okay, think about this for a second. Brian leaves for a few days. Let's just say 3 or 4 days, 2 days, whatever, doesn't matter. Leaves Gabby there by herself. She calls her dad, gets some food. Who's with her? If that's the case, how come they haven't come forward? Who is she with alone in Moab? That seems super sketch, and nobody's talking about that. We don't know, but there's this whole space of time now that we know confirmed that he came back to Florida. We confirmed that he did. How do we know that Gabby? Because you're saying that they were ordered food for 2, right? Who was she with? This is a question. How did they confirm she was with somebody? I don't know that. Or someone in the 819 photo. I don't know what that one is either. Heather Bale writes, do you think Brian could be? He could be, but I don't think he is. He could be. Anything's possible at this point. He could be at Chuck E. Cheese in the ball pit, as far as we know. People just don't seem to be like, I don't know if the FBI just stopped looking as much as they were before, or I don't know if they're getting so many, tips. They don't know where to start. I don't know. It's true. I mean, if you're hungry, you're ordering for 2. Maybe you want something for tomorrow, right? I mean, a lot of people eat a lot of food, but we know that Gabby likely doesn't eat a lot of food, right? She doesn't look like she eats a ton of food. So did her dad know that Brian was in Florida at the time? Maybe she said, can you order us food? Maybe she didn't want to tell her dad that he left her there because, hear me out, as a dad, if I know my daughter's traveling with her fiance or boyfriend or whatever, unless they haven't told anybody yet, across the country, and she calls me and says, oh, by the way, he took off to Florida. I'm here by myself. I would flip. Okay, I would freak. So maybe that's why. Again, it's Occam's razor. Maybe she's hungry. Exactly. So that's the thing about this whole internet thing, is that a lot of people will say that, and then that someone can read a tweet that someone said that, right? That she's with someone because they ordered food for 2. That then goes out, becomes complete information for everybody to see without being corroborated completely. Now, even with the flight thing, we talked about that, but we never said we knew for sure. Now we know for sure, and that changes the timeline a little bit, right? So why was her dad sending them food though? Oh, because they're poor. Remember when the cops asked them if they had money? They were likely living off of their parents' dime, right? They were probably asking for money every once in a while. You can't, I mean, they don't have jobs while they're on the road. They probably burn through all their savings. What if there's, if you get a tire replaced, if you got something to do, you got an emergency, have to go to the doctor or whatever the case may be, they might have burned through money. I mean, if my kid wants money because they're on this trip, I'm going to send her money if they want food. So, yeah. So Gabby could have been staying with those two, aka camping on the 12th, while Dirty Laundrie was staying at a motel. Brian, no, I don't think that's plausible because they were missing from the 13th to the 17th. Do we know the Goose fan? Do we know? True, Josh. Her dad seems like someone she would be hiding things from. Sad to say, but when you know your parents will react the way he has said he would about certain things, and you tend to hide things. This makes sense. Now, do we know that we think that she didn't have a super good relationship with her parents, right? And I hate to talk about this stuff because I don't want to sully that. But was she living with Brian for a certain reason? I don't know. Or was it just because she wanted independence? I hope that's the case. I don't know. And I don't even want to say that because at this point that sucks. So, but yeah, it's important to say, does she avoid telling her dad that Brian wasn't with her? Because if you leave my kid in Utah by themselves, I'm gonna be pissed. There's too many Mormons out there. It gets dangerous. Oh, because he's overprotected. Yes, her dad admitted this was true. She would hide things from him because he is overprotective. Okay. And, I get that, overprotective. Tom can crush an entire pizza by himself, so. Amaranth says, I heard it was stressed. I don't know what that means. If Brian was paying for things, his parents demanded he come home and move their stuff. That could explain it. Would have told okay, yeah, that makes sense. Lindsay writes, I want to know what he bought with her debit card. An innocent man with a missing girlfriend doesn't go on a spot. Honestly, Lindsay, I don't think that he did a shopping spree. I think what likely happened was he pulled a bunch of cash out because either he's going to be on the run or he wants to pay with cash from that point on. So it doesn't necessarily mean he went on a shopping spree, but he probably pulled out as much as he could from as many terminals as he could because there's a max limit per day, max limit per transaction, and he probably pulled the max limit. So I don't think he went to an outlet mall or something like that. Brian stole $1,000 from Gabby on his way home. They weren't that poor. Right. But I think they probably went in. I think it's from her credit card. I think they said it was from 2 cards. So maybe they didn't want to go into too much debt. They were saving that. And true, she didn't want to. A lot of people don't want to spend debt when they don't have a job to pay it off. Dad said there were no Wi-Fi in SLC when she was at the hotel. That's why he sent only food. He was helping her with the website. He knew though. Okay. He used her debit card and credit card. So both cards after she died. So she had money. And maybe she just got that money that day or the day before and said, Dad, we need some money. And they got the money. And then, or maybe there was some money coming in from a paycheck or someone owed them money. We don't know the situation. But likely it was probably credit. Yeah, he needed cash, didn't want to be a trail. And he's probably got a pocket full of cash right now walking around the Appalachian Trail. The attorney, I'm not sure the attorney knew. The FBI found out that they were used posthumously for sure. And that's why that's the charge he's got on him right now. That's what they have on him. Maybe she didn't want Brian knowing she had money. It's a very, very good point. Very good point. Fox Squad says, I mean, only her food. He knew BL flew home. Oh, he did know BL flew home. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Hey, he's gone home. I want to get some food. Can you get me some food? That makes sense. Imagine he shows up and gets robbed by some people. As controlling as Brian seems to have been, I'm sure he didn't want her to have a relationship with her parents. Men like Brian want to keep her isolated, gives him more control. Agreed. Here's the question. All cats, no gluten. But how were Brian's parents cool with him leaving Gabby? Wouldn't they be worried about leaving a young woman? Yeah, clearly. Well, they weren't clearly worried when he got back without her. So if that neighbor is right with that crazy lady was saying that the neighbors heard them screaming and fighting all the time, maybe the parents didn't have a good relationship with her either, like Brian's parents didn't. Exactly, Lindsay. Why has this dude not been found yet? They got bounty hunters galore on this dude. Nothing going on. Let's take a look at that chopper thing. What's the air? No, what's that site where you can look at helicopters? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the parents' phones are tapped. Absolutely. Flight 24. So let's take a peek up near where they would be, past the Appalachian Trail, and see if we got something here. Which is up near, you said Tennessee and North Carolina, the border. Okay, that took me over to China for some reason. What the heck? Mongolia? No. I don't know. I can't tell. Ivy says, part of the problem is we're viewing Brian and family like us. They're not average. They don't respond average either. Exactly, Ivy. Think about this for a second. How many people in this chat have kids would stick up for their kid who did something like this, even if they came home without their girlfriend? Nobody. If you would, then you're bad. These people are not responding like regular people. Something is amiss. Something is weird. And that's true. We have to look at this. We have to look outside the box at every step of the way here because something is weird. Amber Dench, they're not normal. That's so true. Right, Holly Sims. And I think my parents, I would, as a parent, I would make my kid go to the cops if my kid came home. And I said this multiple times. And this is the situation. Even if he didn't tell me, or he even said, oh, she didn't come back after a couple of days, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, you get your ass back out to Utah and you find her. Like, I'm like, let's go together. Hop in the car. We're going. There's just too much weirdness about this. Too much. The silence is deafening. It's so telling. Paige Leanne writes, it's really not that uncommon. To what? I guess. I mean, you're right. To protect your kid. They're putting their son in direct danger and the guys are protecting him. Yes, they are. Ashley says, can we remind everyone to not make false assuming about the parents' relationship? I mean, you're talking about a divorce, or I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Yeah, has the parents even stopped to think if they're capable of doing that to Gabby, who else would he do that to? Clearly, he's not right. They say nothing. If he is capable of doing something like this, and they know that, and let's say he is guilty of this, right? And they're letting him just like freely go out, buying him phones, taking him camping, and just letting him go. That's a dangerous person, right? Am I right about this? A dangerous person. Mrs. Sticky Days says, has anyone ever considered he may be living amongst the homeless population? We have such a large homeless population in Florida. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how easy it is to just get in with a homeless population, but possibly. But you know that the people that live in those homeless populations are always searching. I don't know. Cops are always roaming around there too. So if they see him, I don't know. I plausible, but I don't think so. Yeah. Tony's right. Even the homeless people have phones and they know who this guy is. And, you know, a homeless guy would do a lot with $170,000 bounty, right? If anything, homeless people know, like, I don't know, but I feel like they're like more in tune with what's out there. So MD Krabs writes this. Let's be honest. I would stick up for my kids no matter what they did. Yes. So you would protect your kid if they came home in this scenario. And I mean, I'm not going to hate you for it, but I wouldn't. There's absolutely no way I would. If you did this, you're going to you got it. I'm sorry, because that's just me. Yeah, it sucks, but you definitely have to go through it. I'd support them through it, right? I'd be there for them, but they were definitely going to have to man up. So Veronica Thatcher, if you guys are looking for a recap, they interviewed Cassie. Cassie confirmed that Brian did in fact fly home on the 17th. From there, we know that she did see him camping. She's just tired of being harassed and she doesn't want to be a bad person. We're talking about these sightings of Brian, which are all likely just not true at all. We basically debunked the Ford F-150 theory, and we're kind of go through it all to see what we think. And a lot of people are suggesting certain things. That's it. Not much. Mm-hmm. It would be the hardest thing we would have to go through, but no, my faith wouldn't allow me to sleep at night. We would be there for our kids as we turn them in. Yeah, I would go with them. I would walk them through the process. I wouldn't leave them alone, but they'd definitely be owning up to this. Because you got to imagine too, I have other kids, right? If you do this and you do something illegal, you could put yourself in position to go to jail. Yes, we discussed the 911 call. The guy, again, if he's in a Ford F-150, it's not his sister's F-150. The Ford, I think, Night Owl, the Ford F theory is wrong. Let me just see. Let me just double check this. Someone was saying, hold on.
Brother, your son, it's really the only this.
Discussed it like this.
Dad, for the bus by my dad.
I'm looking on the footage to see if
very clear and
if the truck is actually in the video. They don't show the driveway with the interview with the brother and with Cassie, so I don't know if the truck is there. But we don't think that they has a truck because they would have found that. That's a good point. What if you are protecting your kids and then they shoot shoot your kid? What are you going to blame the cops for that? Pamela Chaidez says, what if in the days before Gabby was declared missing, he got plastic surgery already and changed his appearance? Is that possible? I mean, what's the recovery from plastic surgery? No. I mean, again, is it plausible? Sure, but I doubt it. Like, highly, highly doubt it. I got to go back to for an update for everybody who's talking about this. We go back to the murders of the two women too from Moab and the connections and the crazy coincidence of all that. But we're trying to put together if and when Brian gets caught, could he use this as a moment to say, you know, there was a potential murderer up there, okay? And if imagine Gabby was killed by gunshot, okay? That's going to make his case even stronger because hear this out. What if Brian says he waited, they had a fight, Brian went for a hike, took off for an hour, a day, or whatever the case may be. He gets back and he says, Gabby was gone. I waited there for 36 hours. I hiked, I looked for her, I came back 3 times. I didn't see her. 2 days goes by. I assume she's gone, hitchhikes back home or whatever the case may be, gets money from her dad and flies home, whatever, right? So I get in the van and I head home because I don't see her. He could plausibly use that as an excuse to say, I had no idea, right? Even now, even if there's not gunshots, whatever the case may be, he could plausibly say that. But I mean, the questions are going to be, well, why did you leave? Why did you lawyer up? Why did you do all these things? Right? There's a lot of questions in there, but he could say that. That could be a defense. But it doesn't, you're right. It doesn't say, it doesn't, right? What he called the police. Yeah, exactly. Geraldine Walker says he should have called the police there, not come home and run. But a lot of people could say, well, I thought she hitched. I mean, he could say anything. I mean, what we know, what we think we know, but at the same time, he can say a bunch of things. I'm just trying to put out some theories of what he might say when he is caught. And the Goose Fam says, but Josh, come on. So you come home and don't tell your parents. And yeah, I get that. And the clamming up obviously makes that a little bit more, shady. But if he honestly believed that she just kind of left, he gets home and he probably, maybe he told his parents, I think she just left. And then when they started getting the calls, where is she? They're like, uh-oh, what's going on? Maybe, the worst happened, right? And so then they lawyered up and said, don't say anything because you're just going to put yourself in prison. I mean, that is a very plausible explanation. Yeah, the prosecutor will say, why didn't you call the police? And then, I mean, this is the thing about your law and the law in Canada. It's the same damn thing. Well, he could just say what he wants to say. I panicked. I actually didn't honestly think that anything. I thought she just probably flew home. So I didn't call the police because I assumed she flew home. That's a plausible explanation, right? Can you be charged for that? I don't know. Because if you honestly believe that she left because you guys got in a fight, right? And I said, I honestly believe she left. Right? I mean, you can lie all you want, right? That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Cascap writes, he can say whatever he wants, but a jury will see him guilty because he won. Exactly. That's where the jury comes in, right? But you just have to sway one juror as far as I am aware, right? But then why did he steal her money too, right? No, I'm debunking my own shit. So no, it's not plausible because he has all of her stuff. If she's going to take off and fly home, why did she not take her ID with her wallet and everything else? Boom. Debunk my own shit. He has her cards. He has her credit card. Probably has her license. Probably has all her ID. Has everything in the van. So if she took off, why wouldn't she take her stuff with her? I'm dumb. Gotta debunk yourself once in a while. Can his silence be used against him in court, though, if he never says a word, ever? Anybody out there familiar with the law in the U.S.? Can Gabby's parents sue Brian and his parents in a civil situation? Where's her phone? It's a good question. The FBI has her phone? Okay. Plus, yeah, she wouldn't be able to fly or anything with her ID or anything like that. And here's another thing to debunk my own stupid theory. It's her van. If she wants to peace out, she can peace out. She wouldn't just leave him with the van. What are all these yeses? Joy Lau says, I will always love my kids with all my heart and support them. If God forbid this happens, I will hire the best lawyer for my child, take him to the police, and surrender him. Exactly, Joy. And I think every parent here would do the same thing. Right? You would walk them through it. You love your kid, but you make sure, I just couldn't do this, man. I couldn't do it. Knowing, too, that there's parents calling me, trying to figure out, begging for any information. So Louisiana girl writes, FBI's her phone, question mark. Last I heard, it was unaccounted for. Is that true? Do we have any proof that they have her phone? Gabby's Karen's compressed charges, but for what? Compressed charges for what? Okay, thanks, Fox Squad 6. I appreciate it. Walk beside your kids, not in front of them. There you go. Civil suit would have to be after a criminal trial. Let's say that Brian unalives himself. What scenario takes place after this if his parents don't say a word ever? Can they still sue them? Would a civil suit open up enough litigation to open up discovery, to have them in front of a grand jury? Is that how that works? But I mean, these parents, they're like, fine, let them sue us civilly. At least they won't go to jail. Yes, this Nicole Brown Simpson's parents sued O.J. Simpson and won. I know that. That's true. If he unalives, it's over. I mean, that sucks. That's why everybody wants this guy found alive. Everybody does. Oops. Andy Schneider writes, there's so much evidence against Brian, probably some we have no clue about exactly, like the autopsy, that could go silent the whole trial and still be found guilty. So you're right. Again, we know nothing basically as compared to what the FBI already knows. Stella's WW journey. No, I don't think she was pregnant. I think that was debunked. Amaranth says Brian's innocent until proven guilty. Well, guilty of stealing her money, at least, we think. A lady that camped near them saw another woman come out of the van. So it sounds like they had a female. Are you guys sure with this? This is something that I've heard inklings of, but are you guys... Like, who said that? Do we have that interview on tape or something like that? Really? Doesn't take much to convict someone of the death penalty in the US? Holy smokes. In Canada, hear me out, okay? There's a guy that chopped that guy's head off and ate some of him. That guy's free. He's literally on the street right now. Our justice system in Canada is ridiculous. You could kill 100 people and you will only ever get maximum 25 years. That's it. Canada is nuts. I got to cover this Casey Anthony case. I know nothing about it. I know a little bit about it. I know nothing about it. I got to follow that and go down that because I think it's going to make me angry. Well, Canada has less crime than the US. We also have 35 million people. You guys have 375 million people. So, and we're really nice. We don't have anything to do crime about. We have free healthcare. Well, taxed like crazy. But yeah, we have way less crime here. Okay. No, they're not. Anybody who needs an emotional support, Canadian, I'm here for you. The Casey Anthony case, yeah, I'm pretty sure it will. But let's go through it this way, I think. I think part of the real crime I'm going to do here is covering cases I have no idea about, bringing on people like Will and Annie. Walk me through these cases and let me get my first impressions of these types of things, because some of these things are nuts and they live in your head rent free. This Gabby stuff and Brian has been living in my head rent free every single day. I'm updating Twitter every 14 seconds to figure out what's going on. Yes, I will be covering other cases. So, Josh, I did hear that there was a lady that was camping next to them and said something about there being 2 girls there. I mean, unless we have some solid proof of that, if there is another girl in the mix, where's that girl? Why isn't she coming up more? I feel like that would be a bigger deal. Who am I following? Brian Enton. I'm following Lynn or Dog, the Fox cast with the guy who does all the things. And I'm following obviously the hashtag every 2 seconds. Hashtag Brian Laundrie every 2 seconds. I don't know what a Canadian tuxedo is. Is it inappropriate? I'm Canadian. I don't know what that is. Hey, Roni. Come here. No, Tim Hortons is shit. Don't eat it. It's gross. Depends what you get. Ice caps are good. I can go for an ice cap right now. But I can't because I lost 2 pounds and I don't want to gain back. Hey, Roni. Come here. Hey, buddy. There he is. Head to toe denim. Oh, I didn't know that. Just leave him alone. Ketchup chips are bomb diggity fresh. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I've never heard of this. All denim. Never heard of it. Sorry. This the dog finding evidence of former campsite. I think he's found more. Here's the thing: if he was on that trail and we have proof that was Brian's stuff, I felt like he was so close, and everybody gets so excited, like gonna find him, and then days go by, nothing. You get upset because once it gets too long, it gets a little bit crazy. Oh, there's a Ford F-150 that someone's found. Okay, here, let me show you guys that quick. Thank you for doing that. Sending me that. There's the Ford F-150. Looks like a Ford or a GM. Does it not look like a GM to you guys? I don't know what new Fords look like, but that's in their driveway. I'm just wearing a denim jacket from Gap, apparently. Yeah, I think this is the problem with this case too, right? Is we're getting a little bit, they're going to move on eventually. If they don't find this guy, people are going to move on. I'm not going to move on. I mean, there's not much you can cover at that point, but you got to keep this thing going so people keep seeing his face everywhere. I hope a lot of people don't stop talking about this. I really don't. I hope they didn't. Oh, I'm not getting many views on it anymore. I'm not going to talk about it. I hope that's not the case. Everybody needs to stick to this until he gets caught. Okay, Okay. Timbits are good. Let's be real. They're delish. Birthday cake Timbits. My goodness. Or the powder ones with a little jelly in them. Yeah. Yeah, this is another thing. Andy Schneider writes, I don't see how he's jumping around so fast. Just seems so crazy in our world of camera phones and cameras everywhere. He's still evading. The thing is, too, everybody who sees him, it's like, is he from Hogwarts? Is he like apparating to different places? There's too many sightings that people are 100% sure it's him, but they're on different parts of the whole world. There's no way it could possibly be true. That's why you have to sift and sort through what can be true, what's not true. And you have to be right off the top. You have to say, well, it's not true until you have real solid evidence, to be honest. So. Ooh, Smarties. Delish. We have Tim Tams, but they are from Australia, and they're delicious. Yeah, you asked Trash Panda rates. Brian's going to come out of the woods and be like, whoa, what? I was just camping for 3 weeks. What happened? No. You know what? And the thing is about the justice system is like, if he did that, like a judge would have to say, okay, I have to take your word for it. Right? Oh, I didn't know I was camping I was off grid for a few weeks. I didn't know. A lot of people go off grid for weeks at a time. What if he just strolls out the woods one day? He's like, hey, what? I'm wanted? Oh, my bad. Whoops. Super sorry. Yes, Jackie, I'm in Canada. Gotta be done pretty soon. I'm getting a vocal fry here. True, Whitney. Let's not get mad about false sightings because at least people are looking. You were right. You were right. You're right. Are you married? Because you're probably right. You're a mom. You're probably right. Might be in a cave somewhere, yes. So from Nancy Grace, according to the Daily Jeffersonian, 2 maintenance workers at the Quality Inn Motel off Southgate Parkway in Cambridge, Ohio, said they saw Laundrie on Saturday. Let's take a look at her Twitter. What's her name again? Nancy Grace. Yeah, I'm following Nancy Grace on Twitter. That's cool. 2 maintenance workers say they spotted Brian Laundrie at Ohio Motel. No, and they didn't take a picture? They didn't take a picture? He definitely has an invisibility cloak, for sure. And he definitely is a Slytherin. Like he's not like or Hufflepuff. He might be Hufflepuff. Yeah, Ohio, they're saying. Again, maybe he's staying at Micah's house. Do we know? Have we checked Micah's house? She's trying to make a comeback. This could be her big comeback. Maybe she adopted him. Yeah, if you live in Ohio, everybody, lock your doors. He's in the Bermuda Triangle. Sorry, Hufflepuffs. He's definitely not Gryffindor, and I'm definitely Gryffindor. So that's just, I cannot believe we are Harry Pottering this murder case. But that's fine. Let's do that. Slytherin. If he was, though, he'd be Slytherin. 100% evil. Slytherin's evil. FBI think Gabby's phone is in the Carlton Reserve. Is that why they're searching? I mean, what are the odds you're going to find a phone in the reserve? Like, what are the odds? He does look like Micah's husband, though. He looks like James Stauffer a little bit, so never know. If he's hanging out, I hope he's hanging out at Carol Baskin's house. Maybe put him through the old meat grinder. Yeah, you guys have to know that Brian has a really weird walk. He walks like pigeon-footed. It's really weird. So, and he has a really, really weird walk. I wonder what Brian's doing at this very moment. Let's hope being eaten alive by mosquitoes in the middle of the war forest. Let me read this. Is this an article that she has on her site? 2 maintenance workers say they spotted Brian Laundrie in Ohio. According to the Daily Jeffersonian, blah, blah, blah. Both workers reportedly told police they felt confident they spotted a 23-year-old fugitive walking past them. Cambridge police. Okay, if you are confident that you see the guy that's most wanted and there's this huge reward, are you not just curious enough to just go up and take a photo or be like, hey, Brian? If he turns around, you're like, that's him. Call the cops. Like, what are these people thinking? If I see Brian, I'm going to be taking him down. I don't care. I'm coming after him. Okay, so Cambridge police, along with the FBI and Central Ohio Drug Enforcement Task Force and agents, responded to the scene, but didn't locate Laundrie. We checked several rooms of interest after ruling out the other rooms throughout the investigation. A police report noted it was determined if Laundrie was at the motel, he was no longer there if he was there. The sighting comes days after a hiker saw Laundrie asking for directions to California. Hiker Dennis Davis said he spoke to Laundrie around 12:35 a.m. last Saturday near the Tennessee-North Carolina border. Okay. Davis said Laundrie was in the driver's side of a white pickup truck wearing a black cloth over his head and acting skittish. I said, well, I'm not from around here. Where are you trying to go? David, he says, and then he said, my girlfriend and I got into a fight, but she called me and told me that she loved me and I've got to get to California to see her. Laundrie is wanted on a felony warrant following the, okay, so again, take a picture, people. Oh no, I'm near Toronto. Calgary. Cowboy hat. Again, someone in Georgia spotted him in Peachtree City, Georgia. Someone saw him at the Appalachian Mountains. Someone saw him at 7-Eleven and down in Florida. There's too many sightings all over the country. That sucks for law enforcement. Maybe there's 5 sightings in one area, then we can start getting a little bit excited, right? I don't know about that. It's true. I want photos. Josh is out here wanting photos, but not from potato cameras. I've got an iPhone 12, and a lot of people have newer cameras. Why is it the only people that spot Brian have like cameras from like 1978? What, like, well, that's such a coincidence. Yeah, all motels and hotels definitely have cameras as well. Good point, Kristen. Jessica Cervantes says, say garage, please. Well, garage. Is that not how you guys say garage? Okay. Dog is, there's no big updates on what Dog's doing. I'm getting kind of pissed, not gonna lie. Yeah. Again, Alyssa Costa is one of my favorites. Go follow her on YouTube. Yeah, there's no way he's just gonna be out shooting the breeze with people. Okay, he's not just gonna be, hey everybody, Brian Laundrie here. What are you guys doing? Come on, guys, come on. Say roof or oil. Roof. Oil. Okay. What? Okay. I don't know how else you're supposed to say that kind of stuff. I know that Love Mess says all. Get me some oles. Oh yeah, this is funny, Ames. There's a guy in TikTok that's like, I'm trying to travel right now, and I look exactly like Brian Laundrie. It's so funny, actually. Let me see if I can find it. And his name is not Brian Laundrie. Okay, here, let's.
Alright, I'm officially into the airport. Looked pretty terrible last night, but I have lots of supplies now. I got a mask. I got 2 different types of hats. I got some sweet snacks. Pretty stoked.
This guy's name is not Brian
Bring my
Laundrie.
passport. I got my ID in this wallet, water bottle, and some books. Wish me luck. If you have any more ideas,
This guy's
send 'em my
hilarious.
way.
I'm following him. Okay, so where's the one where he says I'm not Brian Laundrie?
I would just like to put all of these rumors to bed.
I'm sorry. This is a palate cleanser. But like, where is it? Top 9 reasons why I'm not Brian Laundrie.
Here are the top 9 reasons why I'm not Brian Laundrie. I have blue eye. Our noses are a completely different shape. I'm 6 inches taller. 10 years older. Look at those crow's feet. I absolutely adore wearing shoes. I love plastic water bottles. Not a fan of white vans. My eyebrows are way bushier. And frankly, guys, I'm just not him. It's clear as day. Come on, give me a break. It's not.
At least, good. I like this guy. Little palate cleanser. That's funny. New York Post from Dog. We are continuing to search for Brian Laundrie. The longer he's on the run, the more dangerous this becomes. Also said he's turning over evidence to FBI for DNA testing. Okay. Thank you, Rachel. Lovely photo. Are you a therapist or something? I'm going to guess. Now I'm going to guess what you guys are by your photo. You look like you could possibly be a therapist or a vegan chef. Let me know if I'm right. Okay. Does anyone check the laundromat for? Imagine he was there. Yeah, I saw that footage of them gardening in their backyard. This again, a lot of people are saying can't be Brian because he's using plastic. Guys, if you're on the run for your life, you're gonna drink out of anything. Okay, you're gonna drink your own piss. Stop. Like everything, all of your values go out the window when you're running for your life, is what I'm saying. He's probably eating squirrels and shit. So just saying. How about Wyoming decides whether or not he did commit the hillside and issue a warrant for murder, not fraud? Yeah, it's true. Wait, did she tell me what she did? The lady I said that was a therapist? I want to know now. Caitlin, we did cover the Cassie interview, just kind of went over it. It was kind of a big nothing burger. Really, it really was. Except not a huge nothing burger. There was a side of pickles, which was that she confirmed that he did fly back to Florida, which is a big deal for us. And Caitlin, I'm going to say that you are a teacher's assistant. Teacher's assistant. Did I get that right? I don't know, but I don't think that's gaslighting. He's not saving the environment, Emily Reynolds. And I'm going to say that you are massage therapist. Nobody's telling me if I got any of these right. Was BL's Spotify playlist really updated active after he went missing? I think he has been updating it. I think so. But again, I think even on that, unless you have the background turned off, they can track that stuff. So. Louisiana girl, you are a Marvel superhero or nemesis to one of the superheroes. Check the Stoffer's garage. Yeah. If my viewers are mommy vloggers, I'm gonna be pissed. Better not be. You better not be. Although I do know a lot of mommy vloggers follow my videos. No joke, they do. And they laugh. A lot of them will sit, they like turn it on like it's like primetime television and watch it. Especially when I'm coming after one of their rivals. What? Isabel, don't do it, man. Stop. Yeah, Bree, I think you're right. I think this is probably one of the most plausible things we've talked about. We talk about Occam's razor. One of the likeliest things is likely that he is literally living off grid, off the beaten path, in a cave, in a because you guys know that there's cabins all over. Like if you go to BC, and you go way up into the woods, there are cabins everywhere, and like you can just go stay at them. He's likely living in a tent in the middle of the brush somewhere really far away, just chilling with his little thing. What's up, buddy? And his solar panels, and he's got food. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Kathleen Siniga writes, if she had cash on her card, why is she calling her dad for food? It's a good question. Maybe she doesn't want to spend her own money and she's just trying to get something out of her dad, which I would too. Hey, let me get this one. It's your daughter. Kathy, oh, she writes she's a cook at Disney. I would never guess that one. That's for sure. Yes, I absolutely do think he has a phone. 100%. You know, how many off the path cabins are there out in the Appalachian Trail as well, right? Can you imagine? Or again, anybody who's proficient in camping, especially with the way the technology is now, you could literally live off the grid, off the trail for forever. So I think, and Amber Dench, I think he has more than one phone for sure. And I'm going to guess that you are bartender. Or like a high-end bartender, like in Manhattan. His resources will run out eventually. You are right. But if you are smart, you can live off the land for months and months and months. I think his sister, you're right. I think Cassie's going to break. Her conscience is going to, yeah, I think so. Eventually, the pressure will get to her before it gets to anybody else. Clearly, it already has. That's badass. I'm not going to lie. You are a farmer and you raise beef cattle. I love steak. I got that way wrong. Yeah, you can get pocket solar chargers that are like this big. I got one for Mark because we're doing his treehouse. It's like $20. This thing will charge your phone indefinitely. Oh, that's cool. Nursing stay. My wife's a nursing student. Good for you. Retired Army. That's pretty cool. Now I'm going to start saying weird stuff. Osama Brian Laden. Yeah, this is weird, Natalie. Has anyone else found it weird that the attorney is only communicating in text? If I was so concerned about the media misinterpretations, I would be calling or being there in person. It's really weird that this lawyer just texting people. That is weird to me. Yeah. Ginger Gypsy's right. Occam's Razor says Florida boat. Bye. Sure. It's true. If he's out where the service sucks, he'll have to go somewhere where you can get service. Does anybody know if you can get cell service at the Appalachian Trail? Is it like, does anybody have that information? WFLA did an interview and they said the texting is to control the narrative versus answering direct questions. Yeah. So there's plenty of cell service along the trail. It's a big vacation area. Okay. And you can get a booster. Yep. Cell booster. Good point, Dev Jordan. I bet his parents are gardening because their lawyer told them to act normal and hide out so they don't mess up their story in case when he's found. And I'm going to guess that you are med student. Med student. I don't know about talking to CB. I think you need a lot of power for a CB radio. Likely not that plausible, I don't think. But you can, if you have a cell phone with service, you can use WhatsApp, and that's totally untraceable. Like that stuff's crazy. Yep. If his parents did help him get away, I hope they are held accountable. I totally agree. And I hoard makeup. I'm going to say that you're a makeup artist. Don't ask why I think that. This is a good question, Avery. Do you think he knows how much attention he's getting, or do you think he's oblivious to the depth of it all? It depends on what kind of connection he has to the outside world, right? If he does have a phone with internet, he's likely keeping up with it. Or if he's calling his parents, they're probably keeping him in the loop. There's just no way that he knows. I don't think he's oblivious to it. I don't think so at all. And Avery, you are ex-Marine. Dev Jordan's a paralegal? I was close, all right? Law. Something. Where'd she say it? I missed it. Man, I hate missing the answers. Oh, pharmacy. Okay. Close. So I said med student. Pharmacy student's basically the same thing. I'm right. I was right. Absolutely. Melissa Simmons writes, I would be very curious to see what his parents purchased from the time Gabby was last seen to the time he disappeared and what has been discussed and released. It has not been discussed. We don't know. They kept mom on everything. So did you see Cassie's new interview? The family is cracking. Yes, we did cover Cassie's interview today. Jody, we absolutely did. Jody, you're a teacher, right? Yes, Alice, we did cover Cassie's story. Absolutely, we did. What did I say? Ex-Marine? Dang it. Do you think Cassie will lawyer up after speaking public? I don't know. People think she's a liar now because the lawyer thing. She'd be smart to lawyer up. That's for sure. Yeah. Isia writes, my heart goes out to all the bald bearded men who wrongfully accused. Mutt Bunch, he's probably dying for a tuna club, but the Subway tuna is not real tuna. My husband and I drove by the Laundrie's home today, and there were 2 protesters giving out sandwiches. Apparently, DoorDash goes to their home a lot. Well, that's nice, giving out sandwiches. Bree, it's a hard one. Interior decorator, like you stage homes, or a real estate agent. Ash Hill, it was kind of a nothing burger as far as Cassie's concerned, except that she did obviously say, yeah, he did come home on the 17th. So we do know that he did. I think Cassie's helping the FBI, and that's what her parents' attorney not communicating with her anymore, possibly. Well, thank you, Mandy Candy. Your profile pic's too small. Imagine Brian is the DoorDash driver. This is my basement, Elizabeth. It's my basement. A lot of the mommy vloggers make fun of it. It's my basement, though, and I love it. And you are assistant to an attorney. Why was there little to no people on the street? I think the people are it's dying off. I think the story is absolutely dying off, and I'm sad to see it. Isn't Subway being charged for having fake tuna? Or is that just Canada? Nicole, I need a photo, yo. But let me just guess. I have no idea. Maybe you sharpen pencils for a living. Not any no Naji, so no new leads at this point, not really, except for the fact that we did say it. That he did fly home from Florida. Well, Red Sled, how is he paying for his phone bill if he has a phone? I'll give you one guess. His parents. Have the police or FBI checked the Laundrie's other homes? I'm sure they absolutely. I mean, this is probably a given, Melissa, that they've probably first. I mean, yeah, it's probably the first thing they did was check that stuff for sure. Or yeah, pay-as-you-go cards as a burner. Yep. But I think again, depending on what he's doing, the more he comes into public, the quicker he's going to get caught. So he's got to be doing something. Maybe. I will not stop covering the story until this is fine. If you guys know anything about me and Micah Stauffer, you know I'm not going to let this rest until it's over, right? And I'm still going to cover Micah Stauffer because James Stauffer still has Stauffer Garage channel, raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars off that channel. So I will not stop. People get super mad at me. Hey, Roni. What are you doing, Roni? He's chilling back there. He loves it. Oh, I knew that. I was checking to see if you knew. I will not let it go. I'm in. And when he's caught, I'm flying down to Florida. I'm going to be at the courtroom if we're allowed to be there. I'm coming. I'm going to be there. Oops. Why does he have a phone? Who is he calling? His parents are being watched. I mean, he has a phone because, I mean, it's so crazy that that people honestly still believe that his parents have nothing to do with this. They absolutely do. You don't have to put service on a cheap burner Android. Just turn it on, use it for the internet. It's true. Pyrovoc writes, do you think that if the story starts to die down, Brian might start to become more careless and get caught? I hope so. I really do. I mean, eventually everybody gets caught, right? Eventually. This story is too big for it to die down. I mean, yeah. Hey, Roni. Gus, leave him alone. How to brain tumor writes, does anyone here remotely think it was an accident and he fled? I mean, we talked about that today, but why did he take her money? Why did he leave without her? And if it was an accident, why didn't he call the police? Too many unknowns there. What do I do? Video production, real estate, photo, video, drone. I do lots of stuff, but mostly video production stuff. Yeah, you guys again, you have to bounce. I also have to bounce, everybody. It is quite late. It's 11 o'clock. I got to get up early. I got some work to do tomorrow. Again, we'll continue talking about this. It's a good conversation, and we're gonna keep going down this path. And I hope he's caught right when I go to bed. I hope he's caught tonight. I hope he's caught there. So thank you, Ivy Marie, that you're fangirling. And I'm gonna guess real estate agent. Jody Hinkles, oh, you're a nurse. Oh, yeah, of course. I'm so stupid. So many nurses in here. Nurses are the best. Just by the way, if you're a nurse in here, I stan you. I fangirl you. I love nurses. Yes, Roni is the actual king of the castle here. Sorry. I don't want to be on too long tonight, but we have, I mean, not much else to talk about. We can shoot the breeze, but I'm glad you guys are joining us, enjoying this conversation. I'm so glad that you've been here. So thank you for joining me, and I will probably see you tomorrow. Have a good one.